Hello everyone. I have to quickly do a record of the class because the recording I made during the class, I don't know that I did not on my mic, so it was a recording without an audio. So I just quickly want to use this to explain what really happens in the class. So the first thing is showing the outlines of the class, like the curriculums that we'll be working with for the course of this program. So for data analysis and data science course, some of the tools we'll be using for this course we'll be using Microsoft Excel or spreadsheets, either of the two, and I will try my best trying to show us how we make use of both of them. We are going to be working with Python programming, although hard programming is also used for data analysis also, but the course of this program will not focus on hard programming, but we'll be making use of Python programming. SQL also is part of the tools we'll be making use of, then Power BI or Tableau, either of the two. And the tools have similar interface. If you are really good with one, it will be very easy for you to navigate or to use the other. So general outlines of this course, we have introduction to data analysis, and we have just like introduction to data analysis and data science. Then data collection, the process of data collection. I'm going to explain how you can collect data either by questionnaire or designing a Google form or different kind of ways how you can get data. How I'm going to expatiate on how to clean data, cleaning of data, then analyzing data, data visualization, dashboard designing, model building. These are general outline that I'll be working with in this course. So, and I explained earlier that some of the tools we'll be using, just like Microsoft Excel or spreadsheet, Python or R, SQL, Power BI, and or Tableau. So here, some of the topics we are going to consider using. Those four are tools, but in general sense, they perform the same function. It's just that they have limitations and they have weaknesses and strength. So and it's always good to know how to use almost all of them so that you know when you are given a particular task, you will know the one that is best for that particular job. So under Microsoft Excel or spreadsheet, we'll be talking about introduction to the interface. That is seeing the interface, knowing how to move around the interface of Microsoft Excel and interface of spreadsheet, know how to work with formula and function, do some data cleaning using Microsoft Excel, then conditional formatting, pivot table, data visualization, dashboard building. So you should be able to make good use of this or work with this in Microsoft Excel or spreadsheet. So Python also, these are topics we'll be treating, we'll be considering. We have variable naming, rules for naming variable, typecasting, data type conversion, list tuples and dictionary, conditional statement, Python loop. These are just basic topics, the fundamental that we need to know before we can use Python to analyze data, because Python is a tool also. So before we can use it to analyze data, we have to know all these topics. So after that being said, SQL too, we are going to work with SQL and some of the topics we are going to consider while working with SQL. We have table creation in SQL. You're going to learn how you can create table using some SQL query command. You learn how to import data maybe in Excel format, different kind of format to my SQL. Then you are going to learn how to clean data also in SQL using some basic SQL query. You are going to learn how to, after cleaning or manipulating your data in SQL, using SQL, you know how to export it out in case you want to use it to build dashboard. So we are going to treat that also. Then Power BI or Tableau. We're going to learn like introduction to the interface, also how it look like, then how to import data using Power BI. You learn how to clean data, analyze data, do some data visualization, and also build some dashboard. Although the major part where uh, Power BI or Tableau function the most is dashboard building. So when we get there, you're going to learn how to design a dashboard using these tools. And at the end of the program, there are going to be a lot of projects or putting everything, every concept we've learned in the course of the project, in this course of study, you're going to put them together to build a project. And also, I would like to evaluate us based on each tools. So after Python, after Microsoft Excel or spreadsheet, we are going to put that together to build a project. After Python, we are going to put that together also to build a project. Then SQL, we are going to use it, then Power BI. Then after everything, we are going to put those knowledge together, then pick maybe a suitable tools for a particular project. So that's all about our course line for this course of study. Now, coming to the first aspect, which is introduction to data analysis and data science, because we have to have some clear understanding of what this data analysis and data science, what does it mean? Because some are actually new to this and some have some prior knowledge or background about it. Even some might have started learning it before joining this course, and while some are completely new. So we have to do some basic introduction to data analysis and data science so that we are going to know exactly what they mean and their function, their roles, their duty in a company, what they do and the likes. So the first thing is, what who is a data analyst? That's like a data analyst is someone that collect data, process and perform analysis of live data. So one of their roles is they collecting data, especially in terms of designing a questionnaire or probably design a Google form to get data. And I know most of us we might have filled a Google form before. That's just like a process of collecting data. Then also, after collecting the data, you process it. Then when you process it, you do some, in the terms of processing, that's when it comes where with cleaning, analyzing. Then you have to perform some analysis on that particular data. After performing that analysis, that's just who they are, that's what they do. Then every business, be it small or big, they generate and connect. Like everybody generate data. Like anything you do on your phone, probably you like a photo or you retweet, like these are just data. Like we generate data, like we give out data on a daily basis. Then these people, when they collect those data, this data can be in form of customer feedback, that is probably people that sell or people that have a product that people use. They want to know how this product is actually, maybe the customer, maybe they are actually meeting the demand of the customer. So it's through their feedback they will be able to know if the demand of the customer are being met, or probably there is an adjustment they have to do. So the data can be in form of feedback, it can be in form of, like, and also you may have to research on some. And the data analyst is a professional who takes this data and figure out, anybody else cannot just take in those data being collected, maybe in terms of feedbacks or in terms of review. So in terms of maybe in quantitative form or qualitative form, nobody can really figure out what is going on in this data. Only a professional data analysis, a professional data analyst that can figure out these numerous measures. They can analyze it, get some insight from those data, and try to provide an insight on what a business owner or stakeholder can do next. So what does a data analyst do? So a data analyst is responsible for collecting. So this is just like a repetition. They are responsible on collecting data, as I've explained earlier. When they collect the data, they try to clean it, analyze it, and they use it to improve business decision. The major purpose of hiring them and the major purpose of they being there is just to give an insight to improve the business decision. And when they collect data, they try to clean it, because in the process of collecting data there can be an error, so they have to clean it. Then after cleaning it, they are going to analyze it to just the and the end goal is to improve business decision. So a data analyst use its effective communication skill. What does this mean is ability of a data analyst to communicate its finding to the stakeholder in a way they are going to understand, because most of them, they don't really care about the code, the analysis. They only care about the outcome, like what is the way to go, like what is the solution to this particular problem. So your ability to convert that complex code to to a form that it will be easy for them to understand, to for especially to the stakeholder, or to so that they can make an effective decision. So data analysts use their strong mathematical knowledge. If you are a data analyst, you have to have some knowledge of mathematics to perform some basic mathematical or statistics on a particular data, just like mean, median, mode, and the likes. So they are very necessary to have as a skill. Then the skill required for a role of a data analyst: knowledge of programming language, and in this course of study we're going to learn how to use Python. Then knowledge of data analysis tools such as Microsoft Excel, SQL, MATLAB, IBM, SPSS. But in this course, the only thing that we will be considering is we'll be using Python, we'll be using Microsoft Excel, then we'll be using SQL. We will not be using MATLAB. We will only consider we will only consider Python, Microsoft Excel, SQL. We will not be using MATLAB and IBM SPSS. Then is always a required skill for a data analyst to understand basic statistics and also some machine learning techniques. Although it's not necessary for a data analyst, but a data scientist must have a good knowledge of a machine learning. So some probability distribution, hypothesis testing, regression, they are the basic required skill. Knowledge of data visualization, how to put numbers in picture, just in form of bar chart, pie chart, line chart. They are very very necessary, and the suitable tools for this is either Power BI or Tableau. They make it very easy to do all those visualization. So what is the difference between a data analyst and a data scientist? A data analyst typically work with structured data to solve tangible business problem using tools like SQL, R or Python programming language, data visualization software. So they work with structured data because data can be structural format and it can be unstructural format. So structured format is just like data in a tabular row, in a structured, like in one order. It has a table, is arranged, there is nothing, is in a good format, that they are useful. And they are, because all these tools that we're talking about, they are kind of data that they cannot work with. It's only you have to transform it to the format that can be useful. So most of the time they work with structured data to solve tangible business problem, and using tools like SQL, Python or R. They use data visualization software just like Power BI and Tableau. So in their day-to-day activities, the data analysts collaborate with organization leader to identify informational need. So what are people they collaborate with? Maybe like stakeholder. The organization leaders are like stakeholders, business owner. They collaborate with them to identify informational need, and they acquire data from primary and secondary source. Primary source of their data is data they generate in their company, while secondary are the one they got from other companies that do the same thing that they do. And also it can be from a third party, that is they have to buy data from another company or even company outside that is not really close to them, but just because they need some certain data to solve that particular problem, they have to buy or acquire data from them. So after getting this data can be in a format that they are not useful. So the data analyst have to clean it, reorganize it in a format that will be useful. Then analyzing data set to spot trend and pattern that can be translated into actionable insight. So after cleaning it and reorganizing it, the next thing is to analyze those data. They have to spot the trend and pattern. What are the trend and pattern? Just like maybe you are analyzing the sales data of January, February, March, you have to study the trend. Is it that the sales is increasing? They have high sales in January and this sales go down in February, or probably it goes up in March. So you must identify the trends and pattern in each and every month or in each and every day. Like you must know the growth, the coming down, or any imbalance in this particular trend. So after seeing all this, after checking this, and you're able to get this particular insight, you have to translate them into actionable insight, like that is an insight that a business owner or stakeholder can act upon. Then presenting finding in an easy to understand way to inform data driven decision. No matter your work, if you cannot present your finding in an easy to understand way, it will just be like a useless work. So you have to present it in a way that it's going to be easy for the stakeholder and the business owner to understand, so that they can uh, make a data driven decision. So data scientists, they often deals with unknown by using more advanced data. So data scientist is like an advanced roles of a data analyst. They make use of an advanced tools that a data analyst make use of, and also they do more of prediction, they do more of building automation machine, and they write more code than data analyst. Data analyst most of the time base their work on visualization, though there are times that they can be required to do some 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 predictive modeling too, but it's not like as common as data scientists. So they do more of it. Although these roles are mostly confused in so many companies, whereby you see they will ask for a data analyst and they will ask for a data scientist, and you end up doing the work of data analyst, in which it shouldn't be so. But that's why it's just good to know the two or have a clear understanding, especially data analysts. Know data analyst tools, know how to use them well. Even if you are transitioning to data science, or you can call yourself data scientist, because never can tell. And a data scientist role is generally considered a more advanced version of data analyst. So the roles of them too, they are just like the same as data analyst. They gather data, they clean data, they process the raw data. And at times, if there's a data engineer, they may not be bothered in the terms of gathering data. So, but most of the time, they may not hire data engineer. So it's good for a data scientist to really know how to gather data, to clean it, and to prepare raw data. Then designing predictive modeling too. That's one of their role. They design predictive modeling to predict, to forecast, and machine learning algorithm to mine big data sets. The developing tools and processing to monitor and analyze data accuracy. Building data visualization, also using all these Power BI and Tableau, they design dashboard, they design reports, writing program to automate data collection. They also write a program, a code, a script to automate data collection. Just like using web scraping, they write a code that can pull out data from a web. So this is part of their role. And also they have some, like there are some data skills that is very very important to them. So both of them, mathematics, they must have a good knowledge of mathematics. Although for a data analyst, his own it may just be a fundamental math and statistics, but when it comes to a data scientist, you have to know some advanced statistics and predictive analysis, programming, basic fluency in Python or R, SQL. These are just okay for data analyst. But if you want to be a data scientist, you must know advanced object-oriented programming. Though I cannot really call it advanced, because as a if you pick up any language, it's just good to understand some of their basic terminology. Then software and tools. So SAS, Excel, like for data analyst, they work with SAS, Excel, business intelligence is just Power BI, then Tableau too. Then data scientists, they make use of Hadoop, MySQL, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Spark. They make use of a lot of libraries and a lot of softwares and tools. Then others are analytical thinking, data visualization. Whereas for data scientists, they make use of machine learning and data modeling. So these are just some of the data skills for the both of them, both data analysis and data scientist. And at times, a data scientist are required to know some of these skills listed under data analyst. So it's just like they know their own, they still have to master the skill that a data analyst should have. Then in this course, our major focus tools that we'll be using is Microsoft Excel or Google Spreadsheet. I will pick one, but it's possible I'm showing us how to use the tool. Like this how this how this is in the other one. It's an added advantage if you can actually tell people that you can use the tool. And if it's only one you are cool with, it's perfectly fine. So Python too, we'll be making use of Python, we'll be working with SQL, we'll be working with Power BI and also Tableau. Although I'll pick one, but you can transfer the knowledge of one to the other. So now I will be explaining how to navigate through the interface of Microsoft Excel and spreadsheet. And okay, before I do that, I would love to quickly explain how you can create a Google form, like just like one of the method where you can use to gather data, collect data from. So when you just click here to have something like this, just a blank page, you can easily click here. When you click here, just look for, you see form here, click on it. So after clicking on it, just click on this blank. So this is just like a title of the form, so you can easily give it any title. You can call it, okay, let me just call it IJAN student about data. If I call this my title, I can put a description into it, that this is data of students in IJAN. So this is all about that. Then question one, I can start by, then all these things are, they depend on what you want to do or the problem you want to solve. That's when you know the kind of question you're going to create, just like you designing a questionnaire. So now for me, the problem I want to solve now is getting the data of students in IJAN. And one of the things that I must consider very important to me is their name. So I will start with name here. So I will start with name here. So when I start with name here, you see short answer. Just because it's a name, short answer is okay. So then required, because their name is very important to me, just because it's my student biodata. So required, that is, they cannot move without filling this part. So I can easily add another question. You can see it now. Then I can ask like name of course registered for, of course registered for. This is also important to me too. So I can just I can use a multiple choice. I can use it in this way, calling it maybe like data analysis. Then let me just use order so that it won't take my time. So I can easily add another one, so they can pick either data analysis or data. They can, so I try to make it required also. So I quickly want to add email here. Email should be short answer. I need them to fill the email too. So now I already have name, email, then name, so I can easily preview my form here. So if I preview it here, you can see it now. This is my data. This the questionnaire I designed. Agent biodata, their name, their email, then they should choose. So I make it require. If they did not require, can you see? If they did not given, they will not be able to submit it. So this is just about, and this also, just because you are the one that designed it, this respond, you always see if anybody respond on this, you will surely see it here. So when you see it here, you can easily link it to your sheet or you can download it here. If you click here, you can easily download it here. Then when you download it, you can easily move it to your Excel or your spreadsheet. So talking about the interface, this in the interface of this what we call Microsoft Excel. So we call this Microsoft Excel. And also if you want to access a Google spreadsheet, you just click here also, go here. When you move here, you can just scroll down, you see sheet. So when you see sheet, just click on it. When you click on it, click on blank. So this is what they call Google spreadsheet, and this is what is called uh, Microsoft Excel. So the interface, let me quickly explain what the interface means. This is the file. Here you can see new file, open, you can open a file, you can check the info of a file, you can save a file after you're done with your work. And save as will allow you to give it a name you want, and you can print it, you can share it with others. Probably you are two working on a particular project, you can share it with yourself, communicate with yourself, or even share it to others. Then this is another option you can check about. So this is all about the file. This is the home page, and this all in the home page. So insert, you can insert a pivot table, you can insert a table, you can insert a form, you can insert a picture to your work, you can insert a shape, you can use some recommended charts, just like all this particular chart. In terms of visualization, you can embed a link, you can add a new comment, then you can put a text box, you can add in, Then also drawing, these are the icon of drawing. You can use this also. Page layout, you can page setup, you can set up your page, you can print an area, then you can shift right to left. Then also formulas, you can use a lot of formulas here. These are function, sums, average, count number, max, and you can use, these are just the commonly used one. And we can actually, this is just, it filter it based on commonly used. You can use or, if we press or, we have a thousands of them. We have so many functions here, but our focus here is just the commonly used one, just because most of them are used for something else and we don't want to bother ourselves about that. So data, these are workbook link, data from picture, these are so many things. So flash fill, remove duplicates, we can remove duplicates here. Check data validation, flash fill. Then also we can check under review, you can check spelling, workbook statistics, check accessibility. Maybe there is an you can give an access to anybody you are working on it together, or anybody you are sharing it with. You can show change, fashion history, new comment. Then view also, you can zoom in, you can make it more bigger, you can make it more smaller. New window, you can fix some parts while working on a particular sheet. You can freeze maybe a column or probably a row. Then heading, you can work with heading, red line. Then automate also, you can record an action, new script, return table data to JSON. You can also work, you can return your table to a JSON format. Then you can move a row between the table, create, sort and format a table. These are just the functions of automate. Then also help, you can contact support, feedback, keyboard shortcut. So these are just like the interface of Microsoft Excel, and these are icons that you can navigate and make use while working on a project. This is some of the cell, and this is in column and this is in row. Then coming back to spreadsheet, this one file, yes, you can create a new sheet here, you can open it, you can import is bringing data from outside. So you can make a copy of your work, you can share with others. So you can publish it, you can publish your work to web, you can download it in many formats. Probably when you are done, you can download it in Excel, Microsoft Excel format, open document, PDF, web page, comma separated file. You can download it in any form. So you can rename your work, you can move it from one folder to the other, you can add it directly to the drive. Maybe probably you don't want to save it on your laptop. Then you can make it available online, you can set it, you can print it. These are just functions of file. Then edit, you can undo, you can redo, you can cut, you can copy, you can paste special. And even in this paste special, it may be value only, it may be format only, it may be formula only, conditional formatting only, data validation only, transpose, column, add only, all except. So these are just functions. These are just the functions of edit, and these are the icon there. Also you can delete, you can also find and replace. Probably there is some certain words in your sheet that you want to find and replace a particular, or you want to use it to clean. So these are functions of find and replace. Then you have view, you can show, like show bar, read line, formulas and protect a range. You can protect a range if you don't want to tamper with it while working or applying formulas. You can fix no row, you can fix a row, two row, up to one row. You can do and undo, like you can follow all this, make use of them. You can group your work, then you can zoom it, you can make it larger, you can make it full screen. Insert, you can insert a cell, you can insert a row, you can insert a column, you can insert a sheet, you can insert a chart, different kind of chart. You can insert, just like all this, you can insert different kind of charts in your work, especially when you start working with visualization. You can do pivot table, you can insert image, you can draw, you can use different kind of function. You can see sum, average, count, max, mean, all this, all the functions. Then you can work with the array function, you can work with database function, you can work with date function, you can work with engineering function, that is function related to engineering. You can use filter, like filter, sort is just like maybe in ascending order or descending order. You can use sorted, you can use unique. Then you can use financial function related to financial aspect. So these are them. Function related to Google, these are them. Then info, logical, math, these are just basic functions that you can use while working with your data. Then also you can add link, you can embed link, you can use checkbox, you can use drop down, you can use smart chips for people, files and calendar. Then you can comment, you can put a note to your work. So these are possible things you can insert. Then format, you can change the theme, you can change the number, plain text, number in this kind of order, percentage in this kind of format, scientific, accounting, date, times, then even customize a currency or customize date and time. These are possible things you can do. Then also text, you can bold it, you can put it, you can make it italics, you can underline it, you can use strike through. Then you can align your data too, maybe left, right, center. Like you are just an author, like you are a director of anything you want to do in your sheet. So you can do and undo, you can do anything. So you can wrap it, overflow, you can wrap it, you can click it, you can rotate it, rotation in none. So these are just basic function. Then you can change the font size if it's too small, it's too big. You can use conditional formatting, placing some condition on some certain rows and column, or probably some uniqueness or some item in your column. So you can alternate your color. If you are not cool with the color, you can put another color. Then you can clear the format if you don't really like it. That's what this is work for. So data, you can sort your sheets from maybe A to Z or Z to A. You can create filter in case you want to, especially if you are working with different or numerous data. There's a way you can sort it. Then you can filter view, you can check, you can create the filter view, you can add slicer, you can protect the sheet range. Maybe you don't want the formula to affect some certain part, you can protect it. Then you can use name range, you can use name function, you can use column stats, you can use data validation, you can use clean up, you can use split text to column, then you can use data connector. So in this place you can connect this sheet to BigQuery or probably BigQuery to this. So you can pull out data from BigQuery using this connect data connector. So choose, you can create a form from here just like the one I explained the other time. You can create it here, you can check spelling here, spell check, personal dictionary, you can use autocomplete here, you can use notification setting, you can use accessibility, that is people that can have access to your work. These are extension and you can easily find help here. So I think that's all about this. So me coming back here, I just quickly want to do some how you can apply function, although I did some already. So here these are just like these data are typed, and how can I, so I will just delete it and try to show us again how we come across this. These are formula and function. So these data are typed. They are typed because you can work on your sheet in two ways. It's either you type the data or you import it from external source. So these are typed. So now the first thing I want to do is getting the total. And on the norms, if I'm to use formula, I just know that this is B2 and this is B3, this is B4, this is B5. So I have to get the total, I have to use B2 plus B3. So I have to put, just take note that anytime you want to perform anything, you must put equals to in front of it. So I have to put plus B4 plus B5 plus B6 plus B7 plus B8 plus B9. So if I just press enter now, it's going to calculate the total for me using formula. But this is kind of stressful in terms of we having a data that is up to like maybe 5,000 or 2,000 or 3,000. So for us to pick it or keep typing it one after the other, it's going to take a longer time. So here I will not be using formula. I'm just showing us that is I want to add the total, I have to put plus sign. So now I'm going to use function instead of instead of formula, and I've shows us a lot of function that we have. Although I'll be working with review of them, we can try our best in working with them or checking Google, checking YouTube. YouTube's and Google as our friend, and don't expect me to see everything in class. I also don't really know everything, but we can also research and check online whether you see a function or problem. And most of the time, I said I don't know it. It's not as if I have to use it in a project, I will not know how to use it. I will have to also check online too, because all these things are not, I cannot memorize them all, and you too, you cannot memorize them all. So you just have to take your time to understand a little you can. Then when you start working on projects, you have to know how to check online for them. So now I'm going to use, for total now I'll be using sum. So remember to put equals to, so sum, then I'll open a bracket. The stuff is starting from 2, then I'll put this in between, then I think it stop at 9. So it's going to sum it and give us the same, but you see that this method is shorter. Then for average too, I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to do the same, B2 and B9. So that's the average, that's the average of the price. We are calculating this price. So this is the average of the price. You can see the formula. This is the function equals to average bracket. This is the range B2 and B9. The range is start from B2 and it's end at B9. So now for mean, so and in this mean, I don't know why we are unable to calculate mean. You can only calculate geo mean or R mean or tree mean. So now we'll be going for geo mean. Geo mean. So B2, B9. So that's geo mean. Geo mean of this price. This is the formula. Then median. So we want to see what is in the middle of that price. We want to see the price in the middle. So B2, then B9. This the average. this is the median, the one in the middle. This is just like 8 items, so I think it add the one here and here and it divided it by 2. So then we can also check for mean, that is the minimum. So checking for the minimum, we'll go by the same rule. So it already highlighted it. Now we can see that 2.5 is our minimum using this formula. We can also check for max, that is maximum. So it's just like the same procedure, the same procedure. So this is the maximum, that is 48 is the maximum number. Then we can also check for the blank. This blank work for missing value. When you start working with a big data, at times you may need to check for the missing value because they are very very important. So how can you do that? You use equals to, don't forget, count, then blank. So blank, so it will now be b2 p9. Okay, let me just because from year to year there is no blank, but here there is a blank space. Let me extend it to 10. So you can see now that it's able to recognize it, that we have a one blank space. So it's very very important, especially in terms of checking for missing value. So this is where I'm going to stop. I have to do this just because the one I recorded in class, I did not on my mic and there's no audio, so it's just video. And I think somebody asked a question in class, that how can you know a question to design in this particular area, like you designing a questionnaire. One of the things is that as a data analyst you must know how to ask the right question. And where can you ask the right question? You ask the right question from the stakeholder or the business owner, to really have the clear understanding of their business perspective or their product, so that you know how to formulate a question to acquire data. And also it may be that you have to conduct a research or just try to listen to people's opinions about it, then try to consult or do some interview for people just to hear from them. And after putting all those interview together, you can easily pick what is necessary and what is not. So I am going to stop this here. Thank you.